And I'm not saying for a moment, by the way, that there's not a debate to be had, maybe about online anonymity. It's obviously a very controversial issue. We've debated it on the show before, about civility and politics and whether Angela Rayner is wrong to call all Tories scum. Now, look, they're valid issues, but they're nothing to do with the killing of Sir David Amess from everything that we know thus far.
That's right, and that is what makes this whole thing so bizarre. I feel like I'm living in a parallel universe. You know, this terrible killing takes place. So far, we think that, the police suspect that it was a killing motivated by the Islamist ideology. And we've spent the past 4 days talking about mean tweets, Twitter storms, the things that people say to MPs that are not very nice. There is such a vast disconnect between what happened in Leigh-on-Sea and what we're currently focusing on. And I think it really does show that we have a serious problem of Islamist denialism in this country. The political class and the media class in particular are unwilling to confront the problem of Islamist radicalism, to take it seriously, to really have an upfront discussion about what causes it and how problematic it has become. And so they focus on other things instead. So there's a real cowardly element to the discussion about the David Amess situation.
And why do you think that's going on, Brendan? Is it a fear that media organisations, journalists, politicians have with possibly being branded Islamophobic if they talk about it? Because they didn't seem to have a problem talking about the far right after Joe Cox's terrible killing, and they didn't have a problem talking about the incel ideology recently.
Yeah, I keep thinking, imagine if, what happened to David Amess, everyone agrees, was absolutely horrific, really a completely unjust, barbaric situation. But I keep thinking, if he had been killed by a suspected far-right person, there would be far more discussion about the problem of the far-right ideology, the problem of that kind of politics, where it's coming from, what we should do about it. But because it's radical Islam, people don't want to have that discussion. And it is largely because we are told it's Islamophobic to talk about these things. It's divisive. Some people will even say that it's racist. There's a fear of stirring up community tensions as well. If you look at, for example, the grooming gangs problem in Rotherham and other parts of the country, that was brushed under the carpet for a long time by the authorities because they thought it would cause community tensions to talk about the fact that lots of the suspects were from Muslim backgrounds. So there's a real cowardice among the establishment to have an honest discussion about the divisions and tensions in our community. But of course, if you avoid that discussion, those tensions don't go away, and in some cases, they can get even worse. So we do need a frank discussion about the growth of radical Islam in the UK.
Brendan O'Neill, absolutely, and we will continue to have it on this show, and I know you will continue to cover this with your brilliant writing as chief political writer for Spiked Online too. Brendan, thank you. We'll speak again next week.
Thanks, Dan.